Welcome to Rooster Radio, a broadcast dedicated to supporting and promoting local artists in the Gaston County and surrounding areas.
What's up, folks? Wanted to tell you about some upcoming shows we have going on here at the Rooster. On Tuesday, September the 9th, we have a touring act, Brendan Starr. It's going to be here with Lacey Dooms and Caught Off Guard. This is going to be kind of like an alternative pop rock show. Brendan is touring the nation right now. We're very excited to have him here at the Rooster. And then that Friday, on the 12th of September, we have Make Yourself, tribute to Incubus, and Frizzle Fries, a tribute to Primus. That's going to be a really fun show. Looking further ahead, on the 26th and 27th of September is Brew Stock Festival with the pre-party Friday night. Butcher Babies headlines it on Saturday. We're going to have vendors here. We're going to have food trucks, and we're going to have a really good time. Music inside and outside, the 26th and 27th of September. And then further down the road, on the 9th of October, that's a Thursday night, we've got Mike V and the Rats with the Good Grief and Queen City Rejects. Can't wait for that show. The 11th, which would be that following Saturday, 11th of October, we've got Not Your Kind, is a Slipknot tribute with Midas 22 opening up that show. And then the 24th of October, we've got Elvis Meets the Beatles. That's right, we have an Elvis tribute and a Beatles tribute sharing the stage for one night of nostalgia. And on the 8th of November, we just announced this. We've got Heathen Sons album release party with Sugar, System of a Down tribute headlining the show. That's going to be a huge party, so make sure you get tickets to that. There's a early bird special pricing on tickets. If you're one of the first 40 people to buy tickets, you can get them for $15. You can get information on these shows and all of our upcoming events at theroostergastonia.com. Click the events tab and buy some tickets. Peace and love. This episode of Rooster Radio is brought to you by Gas House Cannabis Dispensary. As you can see here, we've started selling THCA products, which are legal in the state of North Carolina. We've got packs of pre-rolls, indica and sativa. We've got lollipops that are 80 milligrams. We've got brownies that are 20 milligrams. And the reason I decided to bring this product in is because these are locally sourced, locally grown, no chemicals, no added stuff sprayed on it. This is all the real deal. And next time you're here at a show and you're in the mood for some cannabis product, we have it available. We also have THC seltzers as well. But these are all brought to you by Gas House Cannabis Dispensary here in Gastonia, North Carolina. But yeah, that Woodinville, next time you go to the liquor store and you're looking for like some whiskey or some bourbon, I highly recommend looking at Woodinville. Now, the stores around here, there's like three different. They've got a rye, and they've got like a straight whiskey, and there's one other, I don't know if it's like a sour mash or something. I don't know, but just the regular straight whiskey Woodinville. And it's like, I want to say 40, maybe $50 a bottle, and which, whatever. I don't mind paying that for some good liquor. It's really good.
Yeah, all of us guys, I'm gonna have to check. I've seen it, but I have never tried it.
Yeah, I've never tried it. I've seen it.
Everybody except DJ.
We all
live. Yeah, we all live in Rowan County, within 10 minutes, 20 minutes of each other, and we practice at my house. I got a couple acres, and I basically turned my garage into a practice space.
Mm.
So
y'all keep a couple bottles in there?
We keep a lot in there.
A lot of bottles.
and the other part is me being my hillbilly ass. So every time I go home to visit my family and visit friends, I come back with moonshine. And so there's always moonshine. 130, 200. I got a buddy who was an engineer. He bought him and put together a steel. And he literally he's just super anal about all
You
this
gotta
stuff.
love alcoholic engineers, man.
Oh,
yes.
You gotta love them. I mean, we got a brewery down here.
Right.
Dude, we just saw it.
And Roy, my buddy, he's like, hey man, I can't sell this, but we'll take it in trade, right? So this is what we do.
Speaking of moonshine, I want to say about 10, maybe 15 years ago, you know who Popcorn Sutton is, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. For those listening or watching, Popcorn Sutton is world-renowned moonshiner from the early 1900s. Dude spent his entire life, everybody swore up and down he made the best moonshine. The feds went after him for decades. They finally got him when he was in like his 70s or 80s.
Yep.
And he ended up shooting himself so he wouldn't have to go to prison. But his apprentice, the guy that he was teaching before he died, took his recipe and went through all the proper channels to sell his
Versions,
popcorn Sutton's moonshine legally. And the first time I saw it, I was working out of town in Nashville, Tennessee, and it was brand new, like they had just got it in. And I bought a whole case. Like they were still putting numbers on the
Oh, yeah,
on
by
the
hand,
caps.
right,
Yeah. And I still have a couple of the empty bottles at home, or the empty glass at home. It's got Popcorn Sutton's likeness on it. And I'm sure you can get it anywhere now, because like I said, that was 10, 15 years ago. But it was some of the smoothest moonshine I've ever had
They
in my
can't
life.
sell like proper moonshine, right? Like,
Not legally.
Not legally, no.
Well,
I mean, they can sell like
Moonshiners
up
are
to
allowed
80
to-
proof.
well, my guy got arrested, so I'm still on the lookout for a new.
when you get arrested, I've got a buddy that's been moonshining for about 30 years now, and I've known him for
You can
about
do it for yourself at
40
home for
years.
consumption. That ain't no problem.
You can.
Well, you
make
still have to
up
even
to,
you
I think
have
it's
to have a
200
license for it though.
gallons.
Well, like, even at home, I looked it up. So if you plan on selling it, then you have to get like the big
Right.
license,
That's
right?
right.
But even just to make it,
Yeah.
you have to have
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
registered.
Did y'all ever
or
watch
whatever.
that show, Moonshiners?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good show, but then I found out later, like
It's all fake.
just
It's
kind
all-
of-
It's all fake.
Set
Yeah.
up, janky.
It's not fake. It was just semi-scripted.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
they weren't really in any kind of danger of anything.
Well, and when
You
the
know
cops when the cops are like after him and stuff like that, that was all scripted stuff. Like
Yeah.
there weren't
Yeah.
the cops weren't
Yeah.
actually there. Yeah,
Like the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, because I had friends that were just like, "Oh yeah, did you see it, man? They almost got caught." I'm like, "Motherfucker, really? No moonshine? Oh, sorry. No moonshiner worth their salt is gonna put it out there,
Right.
knowing the ramifications. Now,
Well-
granted, they are real moonshiners. They did do their thing. But it's just like, this is set up, because there's no way that this dude ran around for the past 6 months out in the open and cops
With
sitting there
camera
talking to
crews.
us.
Right,
But
you're on
with cameras.
It was fun to watch, though.
Yeah, I
ain't
mean,
gonna lie, it was fun to watch.
I had a lot of good episodes. I mean, but you know, I had a
any
former life
reality
that was
TV is-
in a similar vein to what they do, and I hid in plain sight.
Yeah. Well, what you said about Popcorn
Yeah.
Sutton makes me want to contact some of my dad's side of the family, because my great grandpa used to be one of the biggest moonshiners in Stanley County, in the town of Albemarle.
Nice.
My dad has memories of being at his grandparents' house on a Saturday morning, ATF agents asking or wanting to inspect everything, and this little short Scottish man in a thick Scottish brogue would be like, "You can search, but you won't find anything."
Yeah.
Because he is smart. I don't wonder if anybody in my family has the recipe.
I say they got the recipe. You might have
That would
yeah.
be interesting.
Oh,
I'm
Well,
gonna have
that
to
was the
look into
whole,
that.
being from West Virginia, that was the whole argument between the Hatfields,
Hatfields and
now
McCoys.
they were trying to commercialize the brew, and the families all
You wanna-
arguing over that shit.
You
Yeah.
want to know what really, like, something that really grinds my gears, man? I was on a couple years ago, took my family to Pigeon Forge for vacation. And they got this big, like dinner theater thing for
Oh, yeah,
Hatfields and
and
McCoys.
McCoys.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
like, that's what that's become.
Right.
That's what the
Right.
Dinner
like,
theater.
Right.
Gimmick.
Dinner theater.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what because I feel like it's a perversion of history, and it's not
is.
treating the story with the respect it
No.
deserves.
They
Yeah.
did it up home for a long time. There were a couple places where they do some reenactments.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like the
That's
dinner
different,
theater, right?
That's
Reenactment's
different.
a whole nother thing,
That's a
right?
whole nother
But
thing.
doing dinner theater like the whole nights thing they have at Myrtle Beach, that's ridiculous.
that
Yeah,
is-
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it
pirates
is.
swinging on ropes and stuff, and you're
right.
going to make, we're goofy family from West Virginia. It feels insulting.
Well,
it
it's
does.
like,
Yeah.
It does.
It's
It
like what
absolutely does.
Tweetsie Railroad used to do back in the 80s with the train ride,
Yeah.
and Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it was cool as all get out, being a kid and hearing all these
Yeah,
cap
here I
guns
am
going
just
off.
destroying kids' dreams. I know.
I agree. It's just, it's like,
But
I feel like
now-
Hatfields
I
and
do
McCoy
like
is
the
not a
fact-
kid's
Yeah, it's really not a kid's story.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
Not at all.
It's
It's not meant to be.
But I
yeah.
love the way Tweetsie has become now.
Yes.
First of all, I love Tweetsie. I
I
had
haven't
season
been
passes
since the
for
80s.
years. I love that. I love it so much. But they actually they actually throw it in like more historic stuff. They're like, well, this was stolen from the Cherokee people.
Right.
We need to return this, and that's like the thing. But then they still have the
Well,
bad guys who
no,
are
we
trying to
stole
steal
it fair and square. We don't have to return
Bingo.
it. Just acknowledge that it was stolen.
It was
It's
like
enough.
it's still like the good
Spoils of
cowboys
war.
and the bad
Totally kidding.
cowboys. I
Yeah.
know you were.
That's how England
But yeah,
does it.
it's just
yeah, that's how England does it. Nice.
they do add that into the skit.
We'll build
now,
a
so
statue.
instead of Indians bad,
Yeah,
pow, pow,
right,
yeah.
right.
I guess we should introduce our guests, huh? We're like halfway through the podcast.
We're just talking. They like we don't know each other.
Right?
Who are these? Who are these
Yeah,
people?
who are you? Look at that camera and tell us who
These
you are.
people just
What
wandered
camera?
in.
That
Wrong
camera?
camera.
Oh, that one.
Wrong camera.
These guys just showed up. We started talking to
Yeah.
them.
Hey.
I mean, you let me in, you gave me beers. I'm like, hey, I'm DJ, vocalist, lyricist for Valar Morghulis.
GR, the lead guitarist for Valar Morghulis.
Also writes some lyrics.
Occasionally. Occasionally.
And you can see these guys this Saturday here at the Rooster with Decrement, Atera, and Untied.
Yep.
Yes.
It's going to be a heavy show, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
It's for the real heavy metal fans. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And you guys haven't played here in
Did
a
you just hold
while.
a fist?
April.
April.
The headbang,
Headbang.
Bleeding Heart.
Bleeding Hearts.
Bleeding
Okay.
Hearts.
Yeah.
Bleeding Hearts.
Yes,
We haven't played anywhere since
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, that was the
you
last
want to
show
talk
we
about
played.
that? Talk about the hiatus at all?
Yeah.
What's got you crawling back out of your holes?
Yeah. We've had a lineup change, and we're auditioning new drummers, and we found a new drummer, and so we just been getting material. We actually have completed an album right before all this happened, and so we had to get him up to speed to learn the material and put his little flair on it. He's not going to play it the same, but he's going to put his spin on it, and we love it.
And we took time to let him kind of work in at his pace, not really pressure him.
Yep.
We're talking about a guy I've known for the better part
I mean,
of 20 years.
how hard was it to find a replacement? Because I mean, the nature of your music, it's technical.
It is.
and
Yeah.
it's hard to play if you're not a pro. So
Yeah.
how'd you find him?
And that's why we were so selective about the process of finding a drummer, is because we didn't want to take a step back from what we do. Because, we're old school death metal with thrash and groove influences, but we also have tech death influences as well, with our former drummer being more of a tech death drummer.
Yeah.
We luckily got Justin from Mafia, who came in, kind of saved our asses
Shout
for a
out to
couple
Justin.
months.
All
Big
right.
shout out
Yeah,
to
he's-
Justin.
he's
those
solid
guys.
dude, man. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that guy.
The whole band's great
Yeah.
guys. Mafia, we love you guys.
Yeah, he's one of those dudes that'll drive an hour. I think he's like an hour and a half away from here or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, yeah.
He'll come out here by himself just to come support shows and
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
Love that guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he'll go all over the place. He's a great dude. And he
Justin
learned our
jumped
stuff in a month.
Yeah, he learned our whole set. We did 4 shows with him filling in because we had him, and we reached out and I was like, hey, man, will you do us a solid and help us out? And he did. He really, we can't thank Justin enough.
No.
man.
Have you
at all.
recorded all this new material?
Oh,
is
yeah.
it-
It's done.
So
Yeah,
it's
the album's
done. It's
done.
ready.
It
When's
was
the album
done
coming
in,
out?
February.
Jesus,
February.
what's
Well,
We're going to do some singles. We're going to do
we're gonna do kind of a trickle down release
Okay,
with it,
and
and
then
then
you're
do
gonna
the
slow roll
full
it.
release.
I mean,
yeah.
it's for us, like independent bands, right? I mean, we just drop an album, the album's out, and then everybody's like, "Oh yeah, the album's went out,, right?" So
Then
we
2 weeks
put a
later,
single-
kind of
Yeah.
a way to kind of stay
Yeah.
relevant for
Yeah,
a few
yeah.
months?
It's funny because on Spotify we haven't put anything out since last year,
Yeah, Ghost.
and we've kept over 2,000 listeners at least for a small band, and it's up to like 8,500 now.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
did.
Wow.
And when
Yeah,
I
right
first,
on.
So I'm
when
like,
I-
so
when I
we're
first
just
joined-
pushing what we got, right? We
Oh, yeah.
push it, and then we'll put something new out and just hope to gain some momentum, right, and keep that momentum going. But we went with a studio this time. Everything was live, no Sims. It was all live mics, live drums, live cabinets.
Yep.
Everything.
Black Plate Studios
Black
in
Plate Studio
Benson,
in
Garrett,
Benson.
John's
Wait,
guys
say that
are
again.
top.
Give him a good shout out.
Black Plate Studios in Benson, North Carolina. Garrett, John, top tier guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely, highly
We'll
recommend.
push you
Oh, yeah.
beyond your comfort zone.
And they're comfortable in the heavy space and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. They're comfortable in all spaces.
Yeah, they do all recordings.
Yeah.
Well, that seems to be like kind of like a challenge for a lot of people in this area. There's studios are a dime a dozen
Yeah.
in this area. There's a bunch of them, but you've got some that specialize in gospel, and most of them specialize in country or this
Yep.
and that. Not a lot of producers have experience or
Around broad spectrum.
around this. Yeah.
Well, around heavy music
Heavy
because
music,
it's busy. Having mixed and mastered our 3 singles before theirs,
Yeah.
before Ghost, and learning on the fly, right? It is busy. It's noise. Everything's technical, right? And tempo changes and accents and all that stuff. Having done that myself for our first 3, and then going to the studio and getting a little bit of pointers and tips and seeing what they do, it just opened up my eyes, right? And we went and we did 1 single with them last year, Ghost. We put it out, and then we said, hey, you know what? This was a good feeling. Let's do a whole album, right? So we got basically an 11-song album coming out, about almost an hour worth of music.
Right on. Is that what the
February.
set's going to be Saturday, or are you going to mix it up a little bit?
The set's going to be
About 40 minutes.
about 40 minutes, and it's going to be mainly just everything that's on the album, because we had to have Chris learn the album, right?
Right.
Chris Peavy is our new drummer.
Yeah.
Chris was with Blackwater Drowning for a while. He was with
A Road Eternal, Skin
Road
Cage.
Eternal, you know.
He's been around the scene since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Great guy, killer drummer.
Yeah, phenomenal.
He swore her up and down. Like when I saw him on Band Mix, I told G, I was like, that one. That's it. That's the only one I want. Which, I mean, you know, these guys, they can attest, like, ever since I joined, we, you know, talking about musicians in the scene and stuff, and I've been around it since the late 90s. You know, Chris Peavy, Chris Phillips, Josh Ward, I mean, rest in peace,
Props to
brother.
Josh.
And some of the greats, you know, but Peavy, you know, when he left Blackwater, he needed a hiatus from everything, and I get it, trust me, I get it.
Yeah, we all go through phases,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
But when I saw him pop back on Facebook and I saw him pop up on Band Mix, I called him. I was like, dude, Chris Peavy's on Band Mix. Go get him.
I mean, you're kind of fortunate, the timing of that, right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
And that's the discussion that Chris and I were having last night. It was funny. Was we rehearsed last night, because we usually rehearse Saturdays, and he was like, all right. And we were just, you know, hanging and talking after everything, drinking beer. And I was like, you know, if you think about it, everything kind of lines up for a reason, right? There's a time where that fit is just right, and timing is everything. Right?
Yeah.
And so to get him to hang with us, to feel out how we do things, none of us guys, at least in this band, and we've got members from 50 to 26.
Yeah.
That's the range of our
your age.
band members, right?
Yep.
And none of us feel like this is something that's going to pay the bills.
And we know
do
it's
it
not.
because
You're doing
we
it for the
love
right
it.
reasons,
We
in
do
other
it
words.
because we love it.
Well, and that's
And if it goes that way, great. If not, we had a good damn time.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it is.
And so that's the thing too. You know, it's come up in discussion amongst ourselves and friends. You know, like, you know, when you guys gonna try to go big? You know, get a major label? It's like, we're not. You
No,
know,
you're having
we're
fun. Well, it's funny. It's funny you bring it. Last night's show, there was somebody here I was having a conversation with that came to attend the show, and we were talking about a band who wants to get out and play and don't care if they make money or not, but they can't because their drummer, their drummer lives a couple of hours away from this area, and it's not worth it for me. Like he's got that mentality, and it's
Wow.
like, man, what a bummer. And
Yeah.
he's under contract, so they can't have a feel in, and it's like, man, what a bummer. So it should be a warning to bands that, you know, if you're trying to have a good time and you're making music and you want to share it, you got to have guys in your squad that have that same their hearts in
Yeah,
that
the
place,
commitment.
because just you know, being part of a local music community. I don't like using the word scene anymore.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to be part of the local community, like, you're not the likelihood that anyone's going to make it, you know,
It's low.
is
Yeah.
so low.
It's about getting out what's in here.
Yeah, it has to be a surprise.
Well-
like, you can't have an expectation that you're going
Right.
to make it unless,
Right.
because here's the thing, if that's your expectation, then get the hell out of town.
Yeah, go to
Go
a different
tour.
To
tour.
Nashville.
Go
you know?
tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
yeah,
tour.
yeah.
Well, that's-
Not even Nashville
Yeah.
or LA or New York. Just tour.
out of
Yeah.
this
Get
area,
out of one
out of your
area
hometown.
and let the rest of the world see what you got.
Yeah, and
There's
at the
nothing
end
wrong
of the
with
day,
it. There's nothing wrong with it just being a hobby too. And
No,
just like
not
if
at
you're
all.
if
Yeah.
everybody's just fine with like playing around town and doing this and getting
Well,
out here, there, stuff like that, it's fine.
Yeah, and
but if
here's-
you're trying to make something out of it, you got
You're not going to do it in your hometown.
Yeah.
And I've
the other
only
part,
seen
though-
a few who were able to pull that off.
yeah, but
over
the
the
other
years.
part, the other part to that is don't be a dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sorry.
that's the big
And
thing.
here's
Don't
my-
be a
here-
douche.
Here's my
11th
thing.
commandment.
Here's my thing. A lot of touring bands will say this at Instagram and Spotify and all their little outlets have been like, "Hey, you hobbyists need to pack it in for us guys who are lifers." And I get it, man. You got a crew, you got everybody. This is your life. I understand that, right? But when you come through and you ask for local support, let us do our thing, man.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? Some of these guys, and I'm not talking about us, but I know and you know
Well,
in this community, there are some phenomenal musicians.
Oh, hell yeah.
Phenomenal.
And,
Yeah.
if you, especially if you're like a band that's trying to get out and trying to get known and trying to make a name for yourself and trying to do it for real,
Yeah.
and you go to these shows where nobody knows who you are, nobody knows your name and stuff like that. Then you're going to get these local guys out here that pull the crowds.
Right.
Yeah. They're the ones that are going to give you the people there.
They're your key.
Exactly.
That's true for some places and some bands. But it's just like if we go out and play. We played in Georgia, we played in South Carolina, we played in Virginia. We're looking to go to even Florida,
Tennessee, Mississippi, possibly
West Virginia, Pennsylvania. We need those local guys to draw.
Yeah.
They don't know who the hell we are.
Yeah, especially if
Bunch
you're
of
on
hicks
this
from North
level,
Carolina, nobody knows us.
Yeah, like if you've got a national coming here, you have a little bit more pull as a local.
Yeah.
But if you're playing a 500 cap room, do whatever they say. Do what the headliner says. Just play ball and
Play
get
ball.
on
Do
in
your
front of
thing.
500 people or 1,000 people.
Exactly.
Or,
You're getting an opportunity handed to you that most aren't going to get.
No.
Right.
But a 200 cap room like this, don't come in here with an ego.
Hell no, it don't work, man. It don't work.
Those are my favorite kind to deal with.
Yeah.
I've seen people over the years with
I've seen you
egos
deal
that-
with them.
Because, well, here's the thing: if you can get 1,000 people to show up for you in
You're
a
not gonna be
small
playing
town,
here.
more power to you.
Yeah.
You've got a little bit of pull there.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of leeway there.
Right.
But when we're struggling to get 50 people out for 4 bands, check yourself.
We've
Yeah,
always said
right.
too that you should these nationally touring bands and stuff. It should be like a unwritten rule or even a written rule that you have to have some locals open for you.
Yeah.
Or
Well, I
something,
mean,
you know?
That would be great.
It
Yeah.
would be.
It
But-
would be.
Good luck arguing
yeah,
at the
But
live
a lot
nation.
of people,
Right.
a lot of people seem to think that
Well-
their name should carry more weight than it really does.
That's why you're seeing tours being canceled left and right
Yeah.
now.
Absolutely.
Tours
Absolutely.
are getting canceled and rooms are getting downsized.
Yeah.
Yeah, like our big pavilion out here in the Charlotte area has had about half as many shows as typically do in the summertime,
Yeah.
just because they can't fill the seats.
Nope.
Anyways, I want to talk. I want to get on record. I want to get on record. Let's talk about the name Valar Morghulis, because before I ever heard a song, I was sold just because I knew what that meant.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about where that came from. So this was all UGR.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I'm a big Game of Thrones nerd. I'm a nerd. I love
Me too.
all that kind of stuff.
The whole damn band's nerdy.
And so we formed in actually 2019. 2019, we were kicking around some names, and we had finally kind of landed on what we were looking for.
What were some of the other names?
I can't remember.
It's always funny to hear
Yeah, it
those.
was
'Cause
funny.
they're like, that's trash.
I know
I'm glad you
you
did
and
that.
our other guitar players were like, we need a one-word name. We need a one-word name. Because that pops and people, and I was like, okay, yeah. And we kicked around a bunch of one-word names, and I was just in my head, whenever I saw that episode of Game of Thrones, I thought, that's metalist,
Yeah.
AF. And so I was like, you know what? That is a bad name, and it would be awesome if you just, it's just badass. I said,
For the
that would
non-Game of
sound-
Thrones fans, explain.
Yeah. So
what the-
Valar Morghulis is High Valyrian for all men must die. High Valyrian's a made-up language. If you're Tolkien fans and Lord of the Rings fans, that kind of Morgul and all that other stuff, Valar, all those names are together too, right? So you got to go back to the OGs. But Valar Morghulis translate to all men must die, and then there's a response that says Valar Doharis, which means all men must serve. And so I just thought it was kind of cool because in the end we're all going to die anyway.
Yeah.
So
See,
I
the
was
thing
like,
for
very
me
metal.
is
yes,
I
that's
had,
it's just so
Yeah,
metal.
I'm pretty sure you emailed me first before I'd ever heard, or was it
That
was
was
it
me.
you? Was it you? Okay.
yeah, he emailed the flyer because I can't make them.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
So I got
I'm
this email and I
techno-stupid.
see Valar Morghulis as under the pen name. I was like, ooh. Like, let
his
me see
attention.
what this is. I was like, and I loved it. I was like, oh, these guys are heavy. Let me listen. And so, like, you literally from day one, friends of the
Yes.
friends of the Rooster. Like,
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
love where you're
Absolutely.
coming from. The music's awesome. Like,
Thank you.
It of course it helped that the music was great. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
It would have really disappointed me
Yes.
to
Oh,
go
yeah.
click and it had been just garbage. Like, oh no.
But not only is the name awesome, the music's great, but they're really good guys.
Yeah, you are
Thank
some
you.
of our favorite people too
Appreciate
in
that.
the
I mean,
community here. Yeah.
it's one of the few of people who can take what I dish out and give it right back to
Yeah.
me, and I love it.
Well, you can accredit that to trauma and being a bouncer and bartender for 30 years.
Well, and it's just like you said a while ago. It's to me, if you're in a community, especially of all these musicians, you got to be a good hang, man.
Yeah.
You know, people got to get it. You know, everybody's gonna have their different opinions of all spectrums and everything to do with life, right?
Yeah.
But if you treat others the way you want to be treated,
Exactly.
man, life's a whole lot easier.
Sometimes-
It's a whole lot
Key is
easier.
don't be a.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes your attitude can win people over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like being nice. You know, people are going to be more open to hearing your art and what you have to say, and you might be able to make a fan out of somebody who's not in. I mean, Bob's a perfect example. You know, he's not a metal guy at all. Never has been.
Nope. Yeah.
But hanging around us and people in his community, he's
getting
told me
appreciation
multiple
for it.
occasions he's
Yeah.
been like, you know, still not really a metalhead, but I get it.
Yeah, I get they're the nicest guys, and they support each other more than most. other
Scariest
genres
looking
do.
dudes,
Yeah.
but the nicest guys.
Well,
Like,
and that's the thing is we all have all this aggression to get out. This is our outlet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so at the end
Bunch
of
of
the day,
blue-collar guys.
Yeah, we are.
Well, it's a lot better
So,
than popping pills or alcoholism or
Yeah,
beating
yeah,
your,
right,
you know,
right,
wife.
right.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't have said alcoholism. We're all fucking
It's a thing. It's a real
Everybody
thing.
has something.
Well, I mean,
but it's a whole lot better than like abuse and all these other outlets that people who, you know, are kind of uptight and stuff. And look, man, there's two types of people, right? There's the people that have the art bug, and there's people that don't get it.
Right.
Right. And
Yeah.
the ones that don't get it, a lot of times, those are the people that struggle more.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, with
Yes.
those types
With
of things.
life.
you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, like I've, you know, being a lyricist, and I mean, I'm a poet, and, you know, whatever, but being a lyricist over the years, and a lot of people, and you hear this, especially when it comes to metal, is, well, the lyrics are so violent, and you're screaming, yelling. It's like, yeah, tell me about it. Well, let's
in
see,
my head.
how can I get across that I am heartbroken or I'm pissed off?
Yeah.
Gestures
or
vaguely at the world.
The government has just
Yeah.
overstepped one too many times. And like,
Yeah.
I
Oh, no,
can't
we're
I
all
can't-
angry,
I
right?
can't
Right,
convey that
right,
anger.
right.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to get it if I come in here and say, well, you know, drag
But it's
these
a well-placed
bastards from
anger,
their
too.
thrones? No, you're not going to get it.
Yeah,
Until, you know, I come up with, drag these bastards. That's
Well,
when
it's
you
part.
get it.
That's the art part, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
art part is taking an ordinary thing and making it extraordinary.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're taking something that we all feel inside, or something that we all sense, and making it emotional, like turning it up. And for the record, not all metal music's angry. Like, have you ever listened to a
Yeah.
Killswitch Engage album?
No.
Like, one of my
No.
favorite things about that band is not only are they heavy as hell, but most of their music is super inspirational.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
positive.
And there's a
Yes.
lot of bands like that.
Yes.
Well,
And-
Terror,
yeah.
lyrically, Terror and Hatebreed are two of the most uplifting bands I've ever listened to.
Yeah. I just
Well-
saw Hatebreed, dude. It was so cool.
Bluegrass always talks about somebody dying or killing people. So
I love bluegrass.
I do too.
Well,
Jimmy Martin.
well, and like you said, at the end of the day, like, it's funny, unintentionally, and didn't even know, but when I wrote Bastards and Broken Things, the riff, and our former drummer, first drummer, wrote part of the lyrics, and DJ wrote part of the lyrics, and we put out everything together. We wrote that in 2020 when Trump was still in office, right? We put it out in 2023 because we finally got drummer and vocalist and everybody in. We put it out in 2023, and it was right about the same time that what's his name, Oliver Anthony put out.
Then that, whatever that
the
song was.
Come on, y'all
yeah,
know what I'm
that's-
talking about.
Yeah.
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 I can't remember what it is.
I can't either.
And I was like, and people was eating it up all over social media, and everything was going good. And my friend asked me, he said, you know what? He said, and he's not even a metalhead, right? He's just a music fan and a fan of what we do because he's my friend. He was like, y'all wrote the heavy metal version of this with just a couple F-bombs and a lot
Yeah.
more angry, right? That's what it is.
That
But-
song makes me want to
but it
stomp shit.
speaks, and it speaks to the fact that from the bluegrass and country side all the way to the metal side, we're all frustrated.
Yeah, no,
You
that's,
look- you
that's the exact point I was going to make. It just goes to show that, like, we're all kind of saying the same thing. Like, we all have more in common than we don't.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
is, which is one of the reasons it's so frustrating for me. Like, the more time that passes, the less time I spend on social media, man.
Correct.
Like,
Yeah,
what I'm
I
seeing,
barely
what
use
I'm
it
seeing
anymore.
right now going on between people in this community is breaking my heart.
Yeah. Oh,
it's terrible,
And
man.
it's
Absolutely.
breaking my heart to
So
see
much.
people just going after each other for the most mundane, like the dumbest things.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like, if you just if you like, I guarantee you the person doing the attacking and the person being attacked have things going on in their lives that are very similar to each other, and they're just trying to get through their day.
It's just triggering it.
Yeah, so instead of like finding creative ways to cope and deal with that, let me just go, because it's so much easier to be like, this guy sucks and he doesn't deserve your attention and F this and F that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you're not achieving anything by doing
I
that.
don't
you're
watch
not.
dramatic series anymore
Yeah.
because I can pull up Facebook and just, there's drama.
Well, and the thing that they're not realizing is you're just making yourself look like an ass.
And you're,
That
and
too.
you're cannibalizing this community.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
like
eating it
the
from
more
within.
wedges you drive between artists and between people in this community, the more fractured it becomes, the less cohesive of a community we have, and the harder it is for us to pack out venues. And there's a handful of people that won't come here.
Yeah.
Because they feel some kind of way
Something or
about
another.
yeah.
Whatever.
Name something.
Right.
Whatever.
We booked this band, or I said this on a podcast, or whatever.
Right.
I
Like,
crop dusted them in the hallway.
yeah.
I did too,
Yeah.
a lot, and I do it in a
And
kilt.
it really is the dumbest thing. And like before the age of the internet, those were called weak people, and they got weeded themselves out.
Yeah.
But now,
Those are the ones that wouldn't have survived the '90s bus rides.
exactly.
Having what we had go through with the pandemic, that's when I was like, you know what? Because I don't agree with everything that the government or anybody else pushes, and I don't agree with some of the other extremisms. Right? To me, all the extremists, other than extreme metal, because I love extreme metal, right? But all of that extremity on either side is the problem, right?
Yeah.
And so
The squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? It's
Yeah.
the people screaming the loudest to get the attention.
Right.
And it's like, we're the majority.
Yeah.
The rest of us here that have common sense and
Who just want to move through the
Just
world.
a little bit of critical
We
thinking.
just want to get through life and get through our day.
Yeah.
Like, there's more of us than there are of them.
right.
But somehow,
But
they're
we're
the
not
ones
as
with
loud.
the attention.
Yeah,
Because
they hijack it, right?
We've hit the point of
Sensationalism,
life,
right?
We've all hit the point of life of common sense and being
It
unbothered.
takes a while, dude. It takes a while.
And I mean, yeah, I used to be the one like in my late 20s, like barking at every little yapping dog, and it's just
Yeah.
like, and
When
now
ev-
I mean, I'm
Of course,
46 now.
we're
and-
saying all this, but everyone in this room is a little older and more mature. Like, it's kind of hard to have that
Well,
kind of wisdom.
I still
and
have
insight.
like there's
Older,
still things
maybe
that like
not
I support and I push and I like want to stand up for and stuff. But I know that like doing something on social media and shouting about it on there isn't doing anything.
It's not gonna do
Yeah,
it.
you're not
Yes,
making
I actually find a
clickbait
way
sound
to
like-
do
It's
something.
rage bait.
Yeah,
You're punching
yeah,
yourself
yeah.
in the junk.
well, and you
Yeah.
want
For what, a
you
smile?
want to do those things and have a real
Yeah.
impact, right?
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
have a real impact.
Or
and I always would tell.
put the phone down, come to the Rooster this Saturday
Yes.
and slam dance on that floor to Valar Morghulis,
Yeah.
and get it out of you that
Yeah.
way.
Hell yeah,
get all
definitely.
that aggression out.
And this
In the
show
pit.
this show will have a little bit of everything. You know, it's got some alt metal. It's got some black
Tech
metal,
death, some black metal.
thrash metal, some death thrash
Yeah,
and
do
groove.
we want
You
to talk
get-
a little bit about the other bands on the bill?
Oh,
Because I'm not very
absolutely.
familiar with any
All
of
right,
them.
so
ahead, Untied.
I mean, Untied.
Isn't
I'm not-
Mathis in one of these bands?
Mathis is in Ontario.
Terror.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start there
Okay.
because I love his previous project,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
not really privy to what happened there. So let's talk. So
That was a
Atera's
lot.
on. Yeah,
So
we don't need to
Atera
get into
being
it.
We ain't
on
going
the
there.
bill.
I
Yeah,
ran
we're
into
not-
Mathis.
Shout
back-
out to
back
Mathis,
in-
man.
Absolutely.
That
Mathis
dude's-
Green.
He's the real deal, man.
Mathis.
Matter of fact, Mathis,
We're good,
I
man.
knew he was going to be the problem.
yeah, definitely.
Well,
Right.
we're past the
Okay.
point of
Yeah.
we
Thank
can open
Jesus.
it up now.
Okay.
Okay, go.
I'm still gonna try to be nice.
Speaking
but,
of Mathis, though, he's actually featured on the album. He's
Yeah,
done a
Oh,
he
really?
feature
is
part.
on
He does a
Predatory
feature
Impulse,
part on one of the tracks with DJ Garrett Barefoot from
Black Plate Studios,
Well,
and oh God, Garrett, forgive us, I can't think of your band.
no, wait a minute, I'll get it in a minute. Give me a minute.
Anyway, he's featured
Oh,
on,
that was
on
a
a
big
track
brain
too.
fart.
That was a huge brain fart.
Hold on.
That's a real. Expect to see that this week
him
on the
going,
Rooster's profile.
I was born blonde. I developed into a ginger, and now I got nothing.
But talk about Untied.
But anyway, Untied, those guys, great bunch of guys, trio.
That's Josh.
Josh,
Macias, right?
yeah, Josh Macias, yeah. We played with him a couple times. First time I heard him was down at Ground Zero, did
I
an
remember when it
acoustic
was
set.
just him when he just.
And it may just be him. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I know there's something going on
Lineup
there.
influx.
Line up. So,
Yeah. It happens.
It happens.
Decrement was actually Joey's recommendation. He asked if he could pick a band. I'm like, yeah, dude, of course.
Yeah. Alex came out and saw us at Winston
Hoots.
at Hoots, and
Great guy,
dude,
great guy.
trashy.
When you first sent me the flyer, I read that as excrement. I was like, what? And it took me a minute. I was like, oh, decrement. So now I've got that weird association in my head. So I'm hoping they rock this
They
place.
do.
man.
They do.
They will.
Decrement
Please,
throws
I
down.
wanna- Okay, I wish you hadn't said that because I want to end up calling them
I got your
excrement
back.
on stage.
Don't worry.
Atera
squirt
is,
vial.
Atera
Squirt
is-
vial excrement.
Atera is black metal.
Straight up North American black metal.
Yeah, Mathis and a few of the guys that was in his other project.
Nick,
Just a trio, Nick and
Very
Eric.
Eric.
theatrical.
Yeah.
Is he gonna keep that?
Yeah.
element?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've actually ramped it up.
That was
Okay.
one of my favorite things about his
Oh, yeah.
previous band was just the
Very.
theatrics were very. I mean, they just it's one of those like when you show up to the show, you walk into a vibe. Like you've walked
Right.
into something,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh man, what is this?
Yep.
And it's very very captivating
Yeah.
on stage.
It really is.
Garrett's band's Death of a Tyrant.
Death of a
Shout out to
Tyrant.
Death of a
Oh,
Tyrant.
yeah, Death of a Tyrant. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Think you could?
I don't
you
even-
could turn that.
Whoops.
I don't even remember some of our lyrics, and I wrote them.
Get that first part where he stumbles through, right?
Yeah.
And then pop up 15 minutes later.
Oh, there.
Do it.
3 hours later.
Many
No,
hours
but
later.
it's no joke, and I mean, I'll own it every day of the week. I'm terrible with my memory some days. Combination of head injuries and ADHD and near death,
Nothing fucks your heart in
and,
time,
and
brother.
a lot of drugs in my past. But yeah, I get on stage at halftime. There's like times I'll forget lyrics.
He'll look at me and he'll go, which one's next? Yeah. I'm like, you got the set list in front
The
of you.
set is right at my feet. I'm like, hey, what are we playing
But
next?
all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you don't remember those words that you wrote, and you're
Right.
like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and
that's
to
the
me,
fun-
that's a hats off thing too for extreme metal, right? It's like if you in the style you do, and you don't need a teleprompter either.
No.
right? That's just awesome. That's
Yeah.
just awesome, right?
You just forget the words and just start growling.
Correct.
Exactly.
You can.
Well-
you have that freedom.
You
right?
do, I would say you do have that option.
A funny thing is actually here at the Rooster, the first time we played for a pound of flesh.
Yeah, you did that.
We had never played it. We had practiced it 2 or 3 times.
Never
but
played it live.
Never played it live. I wrote this song. And I told him, I was like, bro, I don't remember the lyrics. I'm making some stuff up. And I did except for this chorus, which is, if I took a pound of your flesh for every life from your breath, yada, yada. Everything else I made up on the
I was
fly.
gonna say, well, now he
Nice.
remembers it.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, I remember the chorus, of course. It's like this: if you could remember the hook, you can build around that.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And especially
Just
in
make
extreme
sure-
metal.
You're just good at that too, because we played
Thank you.
Ampfest in 2023, and
Yeah.
Bloodrun out of Virginia needed their vocalist. They didn't have a vocalist. They said, anybody want to come up and sing? Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
He did the whole set.
Just
Just
got
made
it
us
out.
up
Well,
stuff.
it was funny because
and,
like,
and everybody, when they got done, was like, dude, that was awesome. You just made that up. He said, yeah,
I
don't even know the music.
had never
You
met
know what
these
would be
guys.
fun? You know what would be fun? If it were me, I would, instead of making stuff up, I would just like do rap lyrics and growl rap lyrics.
Yeah.
I'd just be doing Snoop Dogg
Or-
to heavy metal.
I actually,
Nursery rhymes. That's a good one.
there's an occasion you'll catch me off to the side mouthing to myself, and I'm doing Ice Cube's "Wicked" a cappella, and I do it 3 times, and I get faster every time just for vocal and facial muscle
Really?
exercises.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Why have
How
I
about
never
that?
noticed this?
Yeah.
I try not to let people see me do it.
That's a great.
Dang
That's a
it.
great trick of the trade, though. That's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you
It's-
should share that.
It's something I use for facial muscle warm ups.
Yeah, it's not working right now.
No, I am
Clearly,
not
you didn't
warmed
do
up.
that before the
No.
podcast.
No.
There's a song that Sugar Ray, I think it's on their second or third album. Their first song is like a real metal song, and he's growling through the whole thing. But when you listen to the lyrics, it's always look both ways before you cross the street.
Yes.
Call your grandma. Do your homework. You know. So-
The funny Sugar Ray
It's
actually
like
started
Butt
out as
Pirate.
like
Yeah,
a
it sounds like
punk
Butt
band.
Pirate songs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
right.
they went on vacation and
There's
they got
just
to chill. It's
Right,
okay.
I went to Cancun.
Well, that's like
on
that's
frosted tips.
speaking of that fast delivery, like on the title track to the
Oh,
album,
yeah,
is the
Call of
last
the Void.
song. The last song on the album. The album title was "Call of the Void." The Call of the Void.
Yeah.
And the
The
last
Call of
song
the
is
Void.
"The Call of the Void." And when he and I wrote the lyrics to that song, sitting in the motel at the studio,
Yeah.
we were sitting
I
there
had
one
written
night, and I was
lyrics
like, "Hey,
for
you
it,
got the lyrics
but-
finished?" He was like,
It's not fitting.
Yeah.
I was trying to.
So we
I
were
was
like,
moving
right.
things around.
Trying to
and-
crowbar in.
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
And for 2 or 3 days, it was back and forth. Me and him with the same lyrics, just passing back and forth. And then we were sitting in the hotel, and I was like, bro, I don't know. I had my lyrics, he had his lyrics, and we combined them. And it's
Yeah.
like, yes.
We just put them all together, and I was like, all right, this part you're going to be that fast. That's how fast you're going to deliver it. And in the studio, when he did it, I was just like,
Yeah, well, actually, we didn't even figure out the cadence before
No.
that. It was just we figured out the verse and the chorus cadences.
Yeah.
But that second verse, is like the music just steps up from a and I was like, oh man, I don't know what to do. And they were, Garrett was trying to give me pointers. He was trying to give me pointers, and I was like, you know what? Hold up, I got this. And I saw his face, and then when I started doing it, I saw his face again. It was like,
yeah.
look out, the engineers
That's what
going.
I was planning. Yes.
This is just getting me more and more excited
Right.
about the Saturday.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since we've had a really good, like a really heavy show like this.
yeah.
It may have been the Bleeding Hearts Balls
Yeah.
the last time we had a heavy show like
Yeah.
this. So I
they were
am
here.
thrilled. Yeah,
Yes.
I always enjoy these heavy shows, and it always brings out it always brings out the homies too.
It
Oh,
does.
yeah.
It does.
Well, and that's a good thing. It's kind of like he was saying a while ago. A guy who's not a metal guy, you see, and I played in country bands, I played in grunge bands.
Sorry.
And
I was in a grunge band.
look, man,
I was in a country
when you're
cover band.
when you're in the '90s, like 1992, in Podunk, West Virginia, metal ain't gonna pay the bills. You ain't gonna get a
No.
gig. You ain't gonna get
No.
a gig. Okay, so you say, all right, well, we're gonna play country, and we're gonna sneak something a little faster in every now and again.
Well, so who was here? Ruffton was here.
The Ruftons?
Yeah, Ruftons. And we were talking about how bluegrass is just mountain punk.
It really
Yeah.
is.
I know it is.
Yeah.
It's unplugged
I
mountain
can
metal.
see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah, I
that.
call it country metal is what I call it.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, and
I would love to hear a banjo under distortion.
playing all that stuff and knowing that and going to shows that were country and seeing fights break out in every freaking parking lot and everything, And I was actually telling my buddies, and they were like, we got to believe. I said, look, we get our violence out in the pit.
Yeah.
I said we're the nicest dudes in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Except
Even
for
if
in
somebody
the
goes
pit.
down in the pit, you pick them up.
You pick them up.
Except for that
That's
one
what your
dude.
job is. Yeah. Except for the dude that
Unless they
punches you in
deserve
the
it.
face
Right.
Here, spinning back kick in the face. I
practiced so
that
much
night,
control.
That was the one night.
We've upset a couple of people in the past because we've made them tone it down in the
Yeah.
pit. And I want to be very, very clear about this. We are pro pit. We are pro
absolutely.
mosh pit. We love a mosh pit. What we're not about is crowd killing.
Yeah.
And what we're not about is giving it to people that don't want it. Like,
Right.
there's now the other side of that coin is don't get in a pit if you don't want
Right.
to get
That's
hit.
right.
Yeah, don't
So
get pissed
to
if you don't
those
get
who
hit.
are up close and you're trying to get up close to the show and you're getting hit in the back, don't get pissed off. Like that's what
Goes
happens
with the
over
territory.
there.
Goes with the territory.
Yeah, it kind of comes with the territory. But and for those that want to mosh, just don't throw fucking roundhouse kicks.
Fight your
Right.
invisible
Yeah,
ninjas
yeah,
at
yeah,
the house.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Take those.
And
I
you know,
support
there's
all of it. I
shows,
do.
there's
It-
shows that are like that, and shows that are
get it
venue
out.
hardcore,
Get it out.
deathcore.
Just
I
don't
get
be
it,
an
man.
asshole
I get
about
it.
That's. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really that
Yeah.
simple. We
Yeah.
want you to mosh. We just don't want you to be a dick about it.
Well, I
Like,
mean, like, in that particular night, I think it was October 22, there were little kids in the pit. And
That's-
this dude's out there
yeah.
throwing spin kicks, back fists. I'm like,
Oh, no.
look,
oh, that's the
Yeah.
guy. Isn't that the same guy that grabbed a tit and we had to kick him out?
Yeah.
He ended up getting kicked out that night, but he hit me in the mouth,
he
and I'm
grabbed
just
the
like,
titty and we didn't even have to, like, before me and my crew could get on him, the people in the pit
Were like-
and he saw himself out. He knew it was time to go.
See, that's the
Yeah,
thing
it
I've
was
noticed.
funny because
Yeah.
that roundhouse hit him in the face, and I saw it, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to pull my finger off of somebody right here because this dude's, I mean, he's a house. you
Yeah,
know? I'm
he
like,
is.
this
He
is
thought the
not-
show was about
I
to be
like,
over.
We're done. We're done. This is a scene from the freaking dirt. I'm getting ready to jump off stage.
First
on
time we
somebody,
play
right?
here, be the last time
Yeah.
we play.
Right.
That's
like-
exactly what we were thinking.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I'm like, I am not letting this be the last time I play
Nah,
here.
dude, don't. Dude, seriously, I love the violence. Like I do. I think
Yeah.
it's great. Like I'm kind of an elder statesman now. I don't get in the pit like I'll jump in for
Yeah.
one song.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
when I go to bigger shows,
Yeah.
I'll tell my
measures.
wife, I'll be like, I'll be back. I
Yeah.
want to,
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll get in for a song, run around, push people around for a minute. But
I'll step in and beat somebody's wall.
Well, 20 years ago, I was in there.
Oh, God.
yeah,
20 years
absolutely.
ago, I was the pit king.
Yeah, but it's just I'm older and I got injuries and shit.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I got,
Doesn't take much. Doesn't
dude,
take
I
much.
got injuries from
Yeah, what was
Pantera
it?
and Slayer pits in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah, what's the meme for the 30 and over guys? Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah,
Well, I always
Don't
I
do
always
it.
say, look, they're kids here.
Yeah.
Don't
That's
make me
what-
come down there.
That's kind of where
I
I'm
had
at.
to do
you know?
that, and
It's
I
all
ended
ages.
up killing the whole pit because they saw me standing there, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Well, I mean, people, especially, I love playing all ages shows, Because I mean, my son's involved. He is
Yeah.
our unofficial official cameraman, is what he says.
Yeah.
You know, in every show that he's at, I try to get him on stage afterwards, get a picture with all the bands. That's just something for him. But I want people to keep in mind that all ages shows means all ages. It doesn't mean 15 years old. I got a 13-year-old. I've seen 4 and 5-year-olds in this crowd.
And it's not that difficult to see a kid. And
No,
like,
not
okay,
at all.
well, I'm not going to throw legs over there.
Right.
Let them have their
Like, it's
ring
not
around
that
the
hard to
rosy
do.
bit
It's
right
like
there.
this.
Yeah.
Me as a vocalist, musician, lyricist, I am anti, censorship of any kind.
Plus, we
but
want
I
those
will
kids to
censor
love
myself.
it. Yeah, we want those
Exactly.
kids to love it so they grow up
Yes.
loving the
Correct.
stuff.
Correct. Nothing is better. Nothing is better, and that's the thing we all got to realize is, you want this music to live on, and it's going to evolve, and it's going to change, and it's going to have its own little spin and nuances on it, right? But if we start introducing kids to this, maybe
Make it
we
fun
can
for
maybe
them.
we can keep them from.
Well,
doing
not only
this.
that, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
crowd
Doing
that
this.
you know,
Yeah.
You know what I
the
mean?
whole of the crowd. That's one thing about metal crowds. We don't, you don't really need bouncers most of the time. It's self-regulated.
Right.
Correct.
And
Correct.
everybody gets along, and when they don't, they just get in the pit, they shoulder block it out, and then they just shake hands.
Yeah.
And I'm usually buying each
One
other
of the-
shots.
One of the coolest things I've ever witnessed here, and it was at the Save the Rooster event. Somebody spilled something inside on the floor, and this is something I've also wanted to bring up. There were these two mountain of men. They were just two big motherfuckers. That's all it was. I ain't never seen them in here.
Who, these
again.
nuts?
Huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Damn it.
Sing.
God, I can't wait to put that out.
Jeez, I can't believe I fell for that.
Yes.
Oh my god. Damn
You know
it.
she's gonna fucking kill us when we
Oh
play
yeah.
that again.
Never shut
Not
the
me.
cameras off.
Him.
I ain't scared of you.
I ain't scared of you either.
Come on, Cletus.
Anyway, so they all night long, I'd get teary eyed that night, and they'd be out there, and they would, they'd bring me back because they would be out there cheering me on so I could clear. But somebody spilled beer in here. There's a pit going on, and one of the security guys was trying to clean it up, and they saw the pit wasn't gonna allow them. They stepped in front of them and was like, "No."
That's what you're supposed to do.
And
When you're a
like
big dude
they were like,
us-
"No, you're going to stop." And they stopped long enough for him to clean it up. And I watched that happen from the stage. I'm like, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just they made me feel like I was like 4 foot. That's how big these two
Right.
dudes were.
Yeah, and it's so, and that's the thing is like I said earlier, there's so much seriously talented musicians in our community of all genres, right? All genres. We did one cross genre show here with some rap and some other stuff.
Oh yeah.
A few years ago, a couple years ago, and I
know a
love
couple of
that
those.
because I might reach somebody that
Yeah.
you might normally not reach, right?
Well, we might hear something
Yeah,
we
well,
don't
that's
might hear
we,
something that
a
we
couple
might
weeks
not.
ago, we talked to the guys from Shell Shock, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
something we talked a lot about. Is like I'm seeing a lot more crossover with metal and hip hop, and I love it. I am all for it, dude.
Right.
I've always been a fan of both metal and hip hop.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to really age myself here, but I'm talking about like the Onyx Biohazard.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Like Public Enemy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Public Enemy and
Public
Anthrax.
Enemy and Anthrax. Like
Yes.
I
The
love
Judgment
that
Night
stuff.
soundtrack.
Yes.
Yes.
That was a great movie.
Slayer and Ice-T.
Great movie and even better
Onyx
soundtrack.
And Biohazard.
That might be the
Yeah.
only movie that the soundtrack was better than the actual movie.
Last Action Hero.
Yes.
That was a good one.
True,
That
too.
soundtrack was definitely better than the movie.
But I mean, I go way back with that, and I
Easy,
love
girly
that
man.
stuff. and so I'm all for it. And like even at metal festivals, like before we opened this place, my wife and I went to a lot of like hard rock, heavy metal
Yeah.
festivals, and there were always hip hop artists.
Always.
on those.
Yeah. Always.
And there's a lot of carryover with the fan bases.
First time, and I thought it was pretty good. And I am not the rap guy. He can tell you if anything after
That'd be
Tupac.
me.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Okay.
There's only been a handful that are worth listening
Yeah.
to,
But-
be honest. But
Yeah.
But
After
I
the
saw
90s, it was just like-
MGK at Rebellion.
I'm sorry.
And I was like, all right.
Who
all
was
right,
it?
Machine
MGK.
Gun Kelly.
Oh,
I'm
You know
like,
that dude that got laughed out of 2 different genres?
I'm like, you know what? It's all right. He was all right.
well,
you know?
Tech Nine, he's been on a lot of.
Seen him.
lot
Yeah,
of
it's
tech.
awesome.
He's
So
one of my
good.
favorites.
He is one of the
Well, he does a
Love
lot of
that
really
guy.
good cross genre collabs too,
Hobson.
and that's
Yeah.
where, you know.
Yeah, and Action Bronson was at a. I had no
The
idea who
fuck
this
kind of
guy
name is
was.
that?
Right.
No idea. He's a New York guy. I was at a festival and he was on before a band I wanted to see, and he put on this just amazing hip hop set. I was like, "Whoa, this is awesome!"
Right.
And the next thing I know, he's like doing like TV shows, like Food Network type shows, and rapping, and now he's doing crossover music, and it's like that's a cool dude. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like I love discovering. That's what's great about this place, man. You can always discover something really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love doing the crossovers, or the hip hop and the metal show.
Yeah.
They're so much fun.
Yes.
And something that we talked about with Shell Shock, what we're going to start doing with their bookings, is we're going to start putting the hip hop artists on in between bands while we're doing changeover in the pit.
Yeah.
So this happened accidentally at one of their last shows because one of the artists arrived a little late, and she came up to me and she was like, "Can I do this?" And I looked at Mike, and Mike was like, "Let's go for it."
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't care." Yeah, I know she's still. I didn't see her at first because she's really tiny.
She was cool though.
Yeah,
she was a bad
really
bitch, boy.
good.
She was awesome.
Awesome.
so
That's
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, she killed it.
But she had arrived late, and we were doing switchovers, and they were like, "Well, just do it in the pit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she did her set in the pit, and it was fun. It
Yeah.
was cool, and it was like it was like a
Kept the
eureka
energy
moment.
up and
She
stuff
was
too.
one.
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't need anything. Just give me a microphone."
Yeah.
I was like, "Hell, Mike, go tell."
And
I
it
think you
works.
take
And
it.
That's how I
now,
am.
and now we have
Yeah.
this
Give me a
new
mic, I'm good.
formula to do shows like that,
Yeah.
where it keeps the audience
Engaged.
engaged,
Yeah.
and
Right.
interested, and
Right.
captivated.
Right. Right.
So that's something to think about going down the road as you're starting to promote this new album.
So I had talked to
put together a few,
Bloodbath about
Yeah.
doing
that's
another
what we're
show.
talking about.
That's
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Shell
Yeah.
Shock, DJ
Yeah.
Bloodbath. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I can't keep up with a lot of people's names.
At the end of the day, man, if you can reach one or two people that you would normally not reach, what did that do? That just expanded the community. The
Yeah.
Oh,
genre,
word of mouth
everything,
travels.
right?
I mean, you know,
Right.
I got an email earlier this week from a guy. He's a teacher. He works for the school system. He was a teacher at Webb Street, where we do the fundraiser for every
Okay.
year. It's
Yep.
School for Disabled. He's no longer there. He's at North Caston now. But I got an email from this teacher earlier this week saying thank you. Because of the Rooster, I'm now a huge fan of these bands. And he listed off like 6 local
Nice.
bands
I love that.
that
There
he
you go.
now is a huge
Right.
fan of and listens to regularly because he came here. And that was,
Sweet.
I mean, I was like, man, thank you so much. It made
Yeah.
me feel so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You know, and that can happen for you too. Just be here this Saturday.
Yes.
See Valar Morghulis.
next Saturday.
It's,
No.
No,
Saturday.
when this airs, it'll be this
Oh,
Saturday.
Thanks for stepping
Way
on the
to go.
promo,
Beat
DJ.
that out,
Way to go,
jackass.
genius.
You broke the illusion as well.
Hey, I've never been accused of being smart. Sorry. 'Twas the tism, my
This
lord.
Saturday, come see Valar Morghulis with Untied, Atera, Decrement. It's going to be an awesome time. If you love the heavy music, be here this Saturday, the 30th. And fellas, anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Don't pay any attention to what I say, for one. There will be a special performance at that show, and the only way you're going to see that performance is to be at this show.
Yes.
Right on.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
Thank
doing this,
you.
guys.
Thank you guys. Appreciate the
Sorry,
love
I'm an idiot.
over all the years.
We chose looks over.
We love you guys. Need to come out to the Rooster. Any and all events. It's always a good time at the Rooster.
Always.
Thanks a lot, fellas. We love you to death, man. We can't
Thanks,
wait
you
for
guys
it.
too.
We'll see you later, folks. Peace and love. I want